Hello, my brothers and sisters. Happy winter solstice. 2016 is all burned up, and 2017 is ready to rise from the ashes. And, wow, lots of things have been happening. So Donald Trump, the electors of the Electoral College voted for him, ending the last meager attempt to deny him the presidency of the United States. After Jill Stein's sad recount and scamming $7 million out of the pockets of disaffected Hillary voters. And, well, there was the Republican electors who were supposed to defect, and there were actually only 2 of them, whereas 5 of the electors defected from Hillary Clinton, one of which voted for an Indian chief, and 3 of them voted for Colin Powell, and I don't remember what the other one was. So, yeah, that didn't work out as planned. Sorry to say, my blue team brothers and sisters, but Donald Trump is going to be the president, and there's nothing you can do to stop that at this point. And that brings me to my topic today, which is Trump's cabinet, and, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump's cabinet. A lot of people are getting really worried about some of his choices for a lot of different reasons, depending on who you're talking to. And I think, Trump used this phrase in the latter part of the campaign, drain the swamp, right? And a lot of people are like, it doesn't look like you're draining the swamp, bro. It looks like you're filling it back up. And that kind of is the theme of my point today, which is, what exactly is the swamp? What exactly is Trump gearing up to take on? And, not just Trump, but again, recognizing that Trump is not just one man. He represents a faction of the United States government, whereas Hillary represented another faction of the United States government. And, whereas normally throughout the recent history of the United States, since the National Security Act in 1945, is that normally these agencies have all worked together. For example, the FBI and the CIA, they're both part of America's intelligence apparatus, but historically they've been at odds. J. Edgar Hoover's FBI against Allen Dulles' CIA. There's been a lot of friction between these agencies for a long time. And now, in 2016, that bubbled up to the forefront, and now we're actually seeing it on the surface, which, if we can see it on the surface, there's some serious movements going on beneath the water. And so this is it. We got a whole bunch of billionaires in Trump's cabinet, a lot of generals. My last video, called CNN is fake news. I mentioned some of Trump's appointments that had occurred at that time, like General Flynn, who I thought was a good choice because he's anti-empire, and he was kind of thrown out of the Obama administration because he was criticizing their stupid policies. And what else was there? There was what's his name, chairman of the CIA, who's, not exactly a peace-loving guy, but then again, you can't really appoint anybody who loves peace to the CIA. That's like appointing somebody who loves heavy metal music to chair in, like an Easter celebration or something. It just doesn't work out. I think, let me just get into it, is that the swamp is not the banks, okay? There are people who kind of, they know a little bit about how the world works, and, they come to think that the bankers are like the ones that control the planet. The bankers are the top of the pyramid. The bankers are not the top of the pyramid, my friends. Not even close. They're definitely up there. They definitely have a lot of unearned power, and I would like to see that power curtailed significantly. But the bankers are not the root of the problem, and furthermore, not all bankers are created equal, all right? So here it is, and I'm going to tie this into the last video, which, got a lot of good responses and some other responses. Some people didn't like it, but, I don't really care. I'm here to speak the truth, and I don't really care if you like it or not. I try and make it palatable. I try and make it sound nice as best I can. There's enough people out there screaming into the microphone, Alex Jones, who are not very nice to listen to. But so we have this satanic energy on the planet. It's an infestation, all right? And, we're gearing up as a human population to rid ourselves of this infestation, of this cancer. And you know, it's draining the swamp for me is not just not having bankers in the cabinet, okay? It's not just having everybody be a libertarian in the cabinet. That's very wishful thinking, and you know, maybe it'll happen in my lifetime, but I'm not really banking on it. You know, understand that people who get to positions of power, they don't get to it by philosophy, okay? Not usually. I can't really think of any that got to their position of high power simply by philosophy, okay? You got to be willing to make compromises, you got to understand what the real goals are, and you got to be willing to make sacrifices in order to achieve those goals. And I think what unites the candidates who Trump have nominated for cabinet posts is that they are all they're badasses, okay? Even if I disagree with them on this or that policy thing, they're all badasses, all right? They can all get shit done, all right? Lots of generals. It's like half the cabinet is like military or ex-military. So we got a whole bunch of billionaires and a whole bunch of like generals, you know? So this is a cabinet that's getting ready to get shit done, okay? This is not like we're gonna sit around and talk to the nation about things we like and how people should think and about racism and gun control like Obama was for the last 8 years. No, they're gearing up to get shit done, okay? And draining the swamp doesn't mean not having bankers in the cabinet. Draining the swamp is... it's getting rid of these people that are being identified in the Pizzagate revelations, all right? The swamp is more than just unearned wealth, all right? The swamp is these sick, disgusting pedophiles who worship Satan and basically commit all forms of unspeakable acts in their pursuit of pleasure and power on this planet. And, you know, you got to recognize that not all bankers are satanic pedophiles. Not all government workers are satanic pedophiles. Not even all the people who work in, you know, the CIA and stuff. There's different factions, and there's a war going on behind the curtain. Okay, and that's understanding that there's a war going on and that there's more important things than just representing the perfect libertarian philosophical position is really the key to understanding this from my perspective. All right, so we have the CIA now openly trying, you know, to cast doubt on the Trump presidency by saying Russia influenced the election. It's so sad and pathetic. It's like you got the Hillary Clinton coming out the whole campaign saying we're gonna declare war on Russia by enforcing a no-fly zone in Syria, and you know, basically threatening Russia with nuclear war. And the American people don't want nuclear war, so we voted for Trump. And now they're saying, oh, we voted for Trump because Russia influenced the election. You know what? I'm sure Russia is happy that Trump won because they don't want to get nuked. They don't want to go to war with the United States. Nobody wants to go to war with the United States. It's very silly to begin with, because anybody who goes to war with the United States is probably going to lose. And so here we are, you know, we have basically this cabinet of generals and billionaires getting ready to take down the cabal, all right? And, you know, again, recognizing that the cabal is not just banking. It's this disgusting network of satanic energy and those who worship it inside high levels of power. And, you know, it ties into what I said in the last video, that war and ritual sacrifice are two sides of the same coin. They're the same energetic aspect, just on different scales, okay? These are humans being sacrificed so that other humans can have power and consume the force of their life, you know, and become stronger as a result of that in this world. You know, so basically we have domestically the cabinet of Trump preparing to take down the cabal and roll back, you know, regulations, stuff like that everybody knows about. But behind the curtain, there's going to be a lot of arrests. There's going to be a lot of people just disappearing and going to jail. Not average citizens, not Mexicans, not gay people, but satanic pedophiles. They're going to be going away, and that's going to be a great thing. On the other side, we're not going to have war with Russia, where, you know, it's going to be the United States teaming up with Russia to destroy ISIS. And again, as I've mentioned so many times in previous videos, it's already, the documents were released. They're declassified. In 2012, defense memo came out that the United States created ISIS, along with Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Jordan and, Turkey. All right, so ISIS was created to destabilize the Syrian regime of Bashar al-Assad. It's now failed. That's the other great thing in the news. Aleppo has fallen. Aleppo has been retaken by the Syrian government, which all the brainwashed idiots in the Western media are crying about. Oh no, crimes against humanity. Shut up, okay? There have been 5 years of crimes against humanity as a direct result of the United States and the CIA messing around in Syria. Oh, it's a civil war. No, it was never a civil war. These were paid terrorists who all of a sudden started trying to overthrow the Syrian government, and now their asses have been routed after 5 years. Actually, it only took, 1 year? A little bit more for Russia. They started bombing in September 2015, cleaned up shop real quick, and the only reason it took so long is because they kept playing around with the dumbass truces and ceasefires that were totally disingenuous, on the part of the Western allies. Okay, so Aleppo has fallen, which means that United States and its imperial cohorts will not achieve regime change in Syria. Bashar al-Assad, his rule has been cemented, and that's fine by me. He's not a wonderful paragon of virtue, but you know what? The Syrian people support him, and they don't deserve what's happened to them in their country, and now it's coming to a close. Of course, on the same time Obama authorizes the delivery of advanced heavy weapons to the rebels, aka terrorists, so they're going to keep trying to prolong it. But the fact is, with Trump in the executive, you have the opportunity for these whistleblowers in the intelligence agencies to come forward. We're going to start rounding up these satanic pedophiles stateside, and we're going to get them in jail, or a better solution, or worse, depending on your perspective. And overseas, we're not going to have this world war. We're going to clean up the terrorists that were paid by the satanic pedophiles to destabilize that whole region of the world. So, is it going to be clean? Is it going to be philosophically perfect according to the libertarian standard? Hell no, it's not. It's going to be dirty. But you know what? Shit's going to get done, and we're going to achieve our goals, and we're going to take our steps to move toward the world that we deserve, and we're gonna keep staying 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps ahead of the so-called elite, the so-called Illuminati. They've presumed their own omnipotence for so long that they got their head up their ass, and now they're playing reactionary. They're playing catch up to us, who are determining the narrative, who are determining the cause of events. And while we shouldn't count these people out, all right, nothing is more dangerous than a psychopath who has no options left, because they'll do whatever they can to retain their power. But we're watching them. We've got all eyes on them. All right, this is a global revolution against these sick bastards. All right, so it's good things coming. So, Aleppo's fallen. Trump's going to be the president. So 2016 comes to a close. A lot of blue teamers are whining and crying about the worst year ever, but all in all, I think it was pretty good, and I'm satisfied with the results. And, again, 2017 is going to be a big year. We're going to keep rolling back the empire, and, ultimately, it doesn't matter what Trump does, or even if he goes against the will of the people, because we are the ones who are in control now, and he is a tool that we are using to enforce our will, okay, not the other way around. So that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Hope you had a great day today on the winter solstice, the last day of the celestial year. At least the shortest day of the celestial year. And now the new year will begin to rise from the ashes, the resurrection of the sun. How nice. So cheers, much love, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Peace.